because he shared his father with me. And God says, I am your husband. So Jesus therefore must be my son, and has made me feel successful. And on the fact that I am abandoned and barefoot of my daughter, and her soul has been destroyed on the conquest of joining any political party or any description of her mother being defeated. So she doesn't want to be a loser, she wants to be a winner. And she doesn't want to obey God and doesn't want to obey me because she'll get into trouble by the authorities. So Jesus is the opposite of that. Jesus obeys my heart's desires, and Jesus purifies my heart desires, just like a mother nurturing her baby. And if I remember Cliff Richard for all his Christian songs, the one I'd say my favourite song would be when he was singing with, I think it was Shapiro, that woman surnamed Shapiro. Jesus being one body, one Messiah. So it's a universal love, cosmic love. One body, one Messiah. Rick Cliff Richard sings that song. And I especially like that song because it makes me feel successful. It makes me feel part of God's kingdom that is not part of this world. And it reminds me that the world is being swept away as those who have been washed away by the flood of God's great anger. Either by a desert storm or by a actual flood, or even by fire, which is globally described of either flushing a multitude or destroying a multitude. So I don't have to be shocked. I don't have to have a bad surprise, because I just had my healing and help. Actually, I had my help. I recovered from trauma, and it goes in a cycle. Instead of a washing machine cleansing my soul, it makes me feel dirty. And I seem to have been accustomed to pain. I seem to have become immune to pain. It's the same thing every time I speak to my daughter. It totally destroys me. But it was worse nearly nine years ago. It's as if she died and then she came back from the dead alive, dead alive, dead alive, dead alive. It's a horrible limbo to say, God, this is so horrific. It would feel to me better off to be put at rest and in my 9-foot grave, or my daughter and I to actually both be dead and come to you in your presence. And I'm not good in the grave. I have no life in the grave, but I can't praise you in the grave. But in my body, but my spirit can praise you forever. And better be with the Lord than to be with the wicked people. And that was my prayer. So this is a horror, to appear that I have no liberty, no freedom, no close relationship with my daughter, like a bond between mother and daughter. Very unfriendly. So having a book to read so that the Holy Bible is more than a book. It keeps my focus on Jesus and God who has conquered, and that he has won the battle between good and evil, particularly during times of trauma and bad news, so that I can recover. This is why we say whisper a prayer in the morning and at noon to keep your heart in tune. Suggesting that my daughter will be taken away into another world of fashion, business, technology very quickly, and she'll lose herself in that. She'll forget about me. She doesn't. So it's as if I'm dead to her too. And also her relationships with opposite sex. She's only had one. And it would support her maturity to be dating and to be meeting and working with a father figure, an uncle figure, a brother figure, and to have other boyfriends other than just one, which makes me suspect it is grooming. Where she can have a successful relationship in her generation with not only one opposite sex. So it is some type of foreign god where they're indoctrinating her and making her feel she has to stay with him. And it's brought my spirit down low. It's made me feel almost depressed. However, more than depression, I feel my energy. I wouldn't call it severe depression, but I would find it difficult to sleep and being worried. And when I'm worried so much, I cannot sleep, and then my entire body breaks down because I'm not able to function properly or concentrate. And even the smallest tasks, for having uncertain sleeping patterns. So that's the problem. So it's not a depression, it is suffering from insomnia, it is suffering from extreme worry and threats, and terrible threats. Because if I was depressed, that means I'm spiritually dead, and I'm not spiritually dead. It is those that are guilty that are usually spiritually dead. And the ungrateful, who are never grateful for what they have, they are spiritually dead as living dead zombies. In the demonstrations on my public Facebook. So I don't have old ideas or any new ideas about being zombified, either because of the lack of medical aids and medications, or being zombified because of being poisoned, or being zombified for any other reason, such as I have said, depression. Some of the medications can actually cause depression. But bad stress doesn't usually cause depression. Bad stress usually causes a lot of insomnia and worry. So with my birthday turning up, I'm not going to say when it is, I want to intentionally delay everything now until my B-Day. I hope that this is going to be the last video. Because I'm making some type of an assessment and prayer request to identify something. Because having a relationship with God is a journey. It's also me feeling like I'm in control, like driving a car, or like a bird where I'm carried on wind, or like a fish where I'm carried by water. However, I am in control because God has given me that ability to do. However, at the same time, God is also unpredictable because God knows that people are changeable. And when God senses that I'm disappointed, God, who is my friend, and I am a friend of God, is determined to heal me and help me by attacking anybody who disappoints me. Which is absolutely, wow, amazing. And I was thinking, come on, God, oh my God, come on, you can't be serious. But God is serious. God actually attacks anybody who disappoints me. And to me, I feel like a self-spoiled brat, but in a positive sense, not a negative sense. And because God knows that disappointment can create depression, which is spiritual death. So it's just such a relief to know that God is there to fight my battles and to be realistic, not to have too high expectations, but to be fair, because we live in a very cruel, unfair world, and that's the case in past times and future. It's become more cold and cruel and uncaring. So any sentiment that I have in the statement for my daughter